Alrighty, my friends, you see me on the left right here. This is me when I was skinny fat. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through the change I actually made to go from this skinny fat Daniel on the left to in just 2 months' time having definition. Now, I wouldn't consider this my dream physique in November of 2021, as probably it's closer to me in October of 2022 here. This is a year later, where I'm about 20 pounds heavier and I'm still just as lean. But this was the first milestone I wanted to pass. Remember, if you've watched my videos before, you know I was fat. You know I did not like the way I looked and I was frustrated. I didn't know what to do. I was fed up with, just being angry at myself and giving into the short-term gratification, eating the candy, playing the video games, watching the YouTube videos to try to numb the pain. And eventually, I started making a bit of progress. I was a little more fatter than I was in this picture when I started my fitness journey. I was about 175 pounds, skinny fat, still no muscle definition. And I lost a good 20, 25 pounds, got down to 155, 160. But I looked the same. I had no definition. With a shirt on, yeah, I look slim, but I take my shirt off, I look chubby, I look undefined, I look flabby. When I sit down, it's just roll after roll after roll, even though I've lost like 20 pounds since the start. But in November of 2021, that all goes away. I get the abs. Instead of looking down and seeing a bunch of rolls, I see actual abs that are hard to the touch. I have pecs, I have shoulders, I have a bicep vein, I have forearm veins. I'm overall more defined. My face is more chiseled. Like, this was the first milestone I wanted to pass. And then I kept continuing the process of, if you've seen my other videos, you know the three phases I take my guys through and the three phases I went through that allowed me to stay just as lean but gain 20 pounds of muscle and look even better and feel even stronger and healthier just actually less than 1 year later. But there's one thing that I changed during this period that allowed me to make such crazy progress so fast. And I'm going to walk you through that here. So it was lifting. But why did that move the needle? Why did lifting move the needle that allowed me to go from here to here? And then what specifically did I implement when I say lifting? That's what I'm going to walk you guys through. So the reason that moved the needle is because the body adapts. Let's get that straight. The human body is a reflection of the lifestyle. If you live a lifestyle that is surrounded by healthy food, that requires a lot of physical exertion, you're always exercising, or maybe you work in construction, let's say, you're always lifting heavy things, your body is going to reflect that. Your physique is going to reflect that. It's going to have the muscle mass if your lifestyle requires it. The body likes to adapt. So the question of why did I move the needle? Well, let's take a look at my lifestyle back when I looked like this. I was playing video games all day. I was in school. I was essentially sedentary. There is no physical exertion. There's no need for my muscles to be there if all I do is go in school and go to my couch to play video games. That requires no effort, no physical effort. And that's why my physique reflected that. This physique is not physically capable to any extent. So when I started incorporating lifting weights, we see what happens, right? And let's take a look at my diet back then. So if you guys haven't downloaded my Fitness Pal already, make sure you download it. But let's take a look at September 1st, 2021, around this period. So I had my calories set to about 1,400 calories a day. The problem was, in hindsight, I really wasn't that accurate because I wasn't weighing out my food, and I was constantly going over my calorie limit because I struggled with that. Like when I say I struggle with my candy addiction, you see right here, sweet tart ropes, Swedish fish. I had 2,800 calories. So on average, including the inaccuracies with my tracking and including going over my calories a few times a week, on average, I was having about 1,700 calories per day. And my protein was fairly weak during this time because I didn't know exactly how to hit my protein goal, but I at least got around 80 grams of protein per day. Now let's compare that goal to November 2021. Why is it not letting me switch? November 2021. Same thing. The only difference, and same thing, probably around 1,700 calories a day, some inconsistencies with the tracking. The only difference here was that I was lifting weights. The diet was exactly the same. The calorie goal every single day was exactly the same, but it was the lifting that really made the difference. So that's why the needle was moved. That's why the definition came in so quickly, the abs, everything. And you're probably wondering, you're probably hearing this thinking, what specifically should I do? Because I can tell you that lifting weights move the needle, but when you go in the gym and you look at all the equipment like you're a deer in the headlights, you're not going to get ripped. So this is specifically what I was doing that allowed me to make such a transformation. So first thing, take every set to failure. Why? Because we need to give our muscles a reason to grow. And what better way to give our muscles a reason to grow than to physically show them that we can't lift something? Than to give our muscles the only basic reason of why they need to grow. Not stopping our set when we hit 12 reps when we could have done 25. Not stopping our set of chest press or dumbbell press at 10 reps because some Instagram influencer told you to when you could have done 12 or 13 or 14 reps. No, we need to take our muscles to failure. And what we do is we take our muscles to failure 8 to 12 sets per week. And what that looks like specifically is this over here. So this is one of my former clients' workout routines that I just integrated here. It was pretty similar to what mine was back in the day, but I don't even know exactly what mine was back in the day, but I know it was something like this. So we have a chest day on day one. We have a back and biceps and forearms day on day two. We have a leg day, day three, and on day four is more of an arm day. Day one, chest press, and you can do like 3 sets of each for every single exercise, 2 to 3 sets of each. It's basically will come out to the same 8 sets, 8 to 12 sets per week per muscle group. Ideally, you hit this day after day after day, and then you just continue the cycle. Maybe take a rest day, 4 days on, 1 day off. But you want to stick with one rep range for every exercise, or at least the same exercise over time. You don't want to constantly switch it up where you're doing machine seated chest press for 6 reps on one day and then next week you're doing it for 12 reps. No, you want to stick with one rep range for that specific exercise. So every time you go in the gym, you're working your chest press in a 6 to 8 rep range. This allows you to look back at the progress and see, okay, today I did 6 reps of 100 pounds on chest press. Next week, I do 7 reps of 100 pounds on chest press. Next week, I do 8 reps of 100 pounds on chest press. Oh wait, 8 is the top of the rep range for my next week. I'm gonna lower the reps by increasing the weight. I'm gonna increase the weight to 110 pounds, and logically, if I could do 8 reps of 100 pounds, I can probably do 6 reps of 110 pounds, something like that. So that's how you work with it, and that's how you progressively overload. But train each set to failure, 8 to 12 sets per week, and then stick with one rep rate. You can have different ones for different exercises, and my suggestion is 6 to 8 reps or 8 to 10 reps. Scientifically, you can do any amount of reps from 5 to 30. Doing more than 30 reps, you're just exhausted. Doing less than 5, you really haven't stimulated the muscle enough. But as long as you work in that sort of area, you're good. And then recovery, no cardio post workout. I made the mistake a little further on in my journey of playing basketball right after my lifts, and that led to no progress and actually had me regress where I'd be losing strength even though my diet was dialed in. Also, get 8 hours of sleep. Your muscles grow while you're sleeping. And post workout for your meal, you just want to have protein, maybe like 40, 50, 60 grams of protein, and then 40, 50, 60 grams of carbs just to replenish the glycogen in your muscles. But if you follow this workout routine and you truly push to failure, and when I say failure, I mean to the point where you physically can't push the weight anymore. You can't get any more with perfect form. You can break down your form a little bit. That's going to allow you to stimulate the muscle. Now, don't act like an idiot and do some crazy form that's going to throw your back out. No, have common sense, but push hard. Sometimes you just have to be a simpleton and dumb it down and say, I'm going in the gym, I'm doing this exercise, I'm pushing hard. That's it. And then you stick to the diet, you stick to the calorie deficit with higher protein. The calorie deficit will cause you to lose the fat while you build the muscle, and that's how you get the definition. There's no way of people think there's some way of toning the muscle. I thought if you lift heavy back in the day, you would get big and bulky, and if you did higher reps because you felt a burn, that would tone the muscle. That's not how it works. Muscles can either grow or not grow, and that definition only ever comes from your body fat percentage. You can do heavy weight at a low body fat percentage and you'll look toned, or you can do high reps at a high body fat percentage and you'll still look big and bulky. It all comes down to your body fat percentage and how much muscle you have. So Follow this if you want to work with me one-on-one. I always put a Calendly link in the description of this video so we can talk one-on-one and build you a specific game plan. Like if you've seen my Instagram, you've seen a bunch of my clients. But I'll see you guys on the next video. If you want to see my daily stories, I daily document my day and I post my 50 morning push-ups at 4 a.m. every single morning. So if you want to follow that, today was day 317. I never miss a day of that. So if you want that morning motivation, follow me on Instagram, book a call with me if you want to work one-on-one. I only work with serious people, so if you're not serious, don't book a call, don't waste my time. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Subscribe, it really helps with the algorithm, and like the video as well. Peace out.